Hi everyone, calling all super soldiers. I'm Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, and I got my friends here with me, and I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about, how we must keep preparing ourselves because something's coming, right? And so here we are, and I wanted everybody to introduce themselves real quick, and then we'll go on from there. We'll start with Alyssa and Anthony. Thank you.
I am new. This is literally the first time that I've ever done a public interview. Like, I don't think we're live right now, right? But it'll
No,
be posted later. Yeah. So this is my very first time. I'm maybe going to be a little bit more quiet. I'm getting comfortable. I'm getting prepared for the conference, the Full Disclosure Now conference coming up in July in St. Petersburg, Florida. So shout out for that. I have a lot more 3D targeted individual experience that I'm going to be covering, and that's the foundation that I'm starting from. As far as memories and dream recalls and everything, I'm still working on that. I've run into in the past some experiences where I'm trying to access that information with the wrong people, and I completely shut down after that. And so I'm stepping back out and trying to be, a little bit more careful about who I connect to and who I open up to. And so, yeah, just starting from what my 3D experiences have been and building up from there as I regain more.
I'm Anthony Zender, and I've been on the scene since 2016 with my awakening. Like 2012 is when I really started to wake up, and since then, obviously, have come to the understanding that I'm a super soldier. In the super soldier program in my lab, part of the TIRAP program too is called the Targeted Individual Research Advanced Program Project. The NSA and DARPA are behind it. So, that was when I came to that understanding, that led me to uncover how I was involved in the super soldier, being a super soldier, and all my memories that I had that I have are of missions that I've been involved in with Kruger for very different black operations. So, like all those memories are coming back to me, and my sister, I remember my sister, being there with me. I remember you, Veronica, being there. So that's definitely what I just want to say is because who I remember, I'm going to just say I remember being there in these missions. So thank you for having me on, and yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah, good to be involved in getting the truth out.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you, Anthony and Melissa. Susan, Brian, and then Chad, please.
Shoot, I'm a retired police officer and detective, and yeah, that also ties in with some of my memories because I think they use that to cover a lot of these super soldier um, memories as death dreams. And I've been a healer for the last 15 years. Um, I have divine connections. I do cranial sacral therapy. I'm a Reiki master. I do quantum transregressions because I'm trying to get through all the layers because we've all had a lot of trauma. And when I lay my hands on people and do different things, I can actually, like with the cranial sacral fascial therapy, it's like I get flashes like, mini reels of what you did and how the trauma occurred. And I've even seen program stuff on people when I've worked on them that gets released. And I remember one time the local girl here, I was doing that to her and she learned how to do it. And I thought this one time I was unwinding and I went to, I thought I was releasing all the anesthesia from my throat when they did the 4-level fusion, but it wasn't. I was retching and I thought that's what it was. That was just, unwinding all the hours of being under surgery. But it ended up that I was about 5 or 6 years old, face down, retching on a metal gurney, and one of the white coats was raping me and I could see my little toes because a lot of this stuff I'm remote viewing it when I'm seeing it. And even when I go back to some of this stuff, I'm standing there watching it. It's really weird. I don't know how everybody else sees. And I was in the super soldier program, and my friend Douglas thinks the Jean Grey character is based off of me. And when I did the Holy Fire upgrade for my Reiki, my hands got super hot in the Reiki master thing. And in that one, actually, like every time I do some kind of new healing method, I'll have some kind of vision. And when I was doing that, because we basically had to meditate for 3 days for the Holy Fire upgrade, there wasn't any, where they'll attune you, or they would do an Osui and Karuna. But there I remember seeing myself sitting Indian style doing mudras floating around midair. And then I was in my dragon ship going and picking up super soldiers from different planets, and we were taking them to heal them, and then we would take them wherever we wanted to go. They wanted to go, if they wanted to stay where they were as a colonist, come back to Earth, whatever timeline. And that's basically what I want to do now, is heal all of us that have been traumatized. Because I did the warrior stuff. Now I'm in my healer mode, crone mode, as an herbalist, and doing all this other stuff. Because I just want us to be healed. I don't trust big pharma. And I like herbal things better anyways. But and I have lots of memories with Veronica from shoot, I remember American programs. I remember being in the Hulk. And I remember Bryan from the whole program. He was one of the logistics guys when we were hanging on as they would have us hanging on this assembly line thing. And they would screw this thing into our abdomen. And I remember sitting there, and I could see him. It was kind of like set up like GM with those air boxes up there. And Bryan was up in the air box, talking to some other guys in white coats. But I kind of wonder if that's why a lot of us have stomach issues, gut issues now from some of these. Yeah. And I have memories of 12 plus programs. Is that good? I can go on and on.
Yeah, we'll talk right now. So Bryan, your next chat, and then we'll start. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember coming into this life as a young kid, American-born Chinese immigrant family from East Coast, New Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York areas, and just remembering seeing homeless people for the first time, really young, and pointing to them in the car out the window, and my parents smacking my hand down, and I'm like, why is the person hurting? And I knew early on I wanted to help people. And then there's just the real life of trying to like assimilate into society that I kind of felt, thrown in. And my dad was busy, building a kind of a computer graphics chip empire at the time. So I'm not going to begrudge him that. And that really has helped, enable me to do the work that a lot of us are doing today, in a much more unencumbered fashion. And so I kind of feel like I lost touch of things a bit, kind of fell into the 3D matrix life. And then 9/11 happened. And I was supposed to be on a flight instead of from Pennsylvania to San Francisco, like flight 93. I was like the opposite flight that day from San Francisco back to Pennsylvania, like Philadelphia that day. So I would have been the opposite to 93. And then I got the call, like, don't bother going to the airport, Bryan. What's going on? You turn on the TV and it's like, and it only took me, once I found out about World Trade Center 7 and the third building falling and only 2 planes and 3 skyscrapers at free fall, took me a couple years to realize, okay, this is all bunk. And then, I became a community organizer after getting a biochem degree, and got to do medical advocacy for 8 years. And that gave me a lot of the organizing skills that I kind of am bringing now to the disclosure movement. And I kind of see myself and a lot of us as Dolores Cannon Wave 2 volunteers. Like the first wave would have been like the Penny Bradleys, a little bit older, longer in the teeth. They came and they were the first ones to talk about UFOs and Bigfoot and space programs and ETs. And they really got both barrels just shocking them like in the face and in the back, and all the arrows on top of that. And here we are, the second wave, kind of like the cavalry, to ride in. And now that they've sacrificed themselves on the beach, here we are to kind of take control of that. And then the Indigo kids are going to follow up. And I joke that it seems like everyone else, they've got memories of me doing this or that. I've got two, my housemates, business partners, have concurrent, or were having concurrent dreams of all of us together, a bunch of us in this life were together in the Orion Wars in a past life. And then their dreams were concurrent, and then they stopped concurrently at like the same part where we all died. So, but I don't see any of this. I can't have my third eye, I feel blocked. But so I roll with whatever memories other people have, whatever recall they have, parallel lives and dimensions. Christy Campbell says she might be seeing alternate timelines, for example, that I'm involved in with her and other people. But needless to say, whether or not I was or wasn't, it doesn't matter. We've all been in past lives where we've done this and had it done to us in so many different ways. And here we are to assist in the ascension of humanity and liberation of Earth.
Hi, everyone. I was going to say that I'm co-hosting and we were going to be moving on. However, everybody's being so brave right now that I'll go ahead and talk a little myself. So I don't like to consider myself SSP. However, I do have some recall, not exactly recall. I've had visitations of altars and they've been formal. So I've seen myself as a woman, and I've seen myself as a man, and I've seen myself, and the man, I was with somebody that I was twin flamed with in the 3rd or 4th grade. I don't know, something like that. And might have been 4th or 5th. And they were all grown, so I saw them. So it was a little bit of a more confirmation with me. I've had confirmation from Ivan Teller, but I go by my own, and then I use that to kind of inspire me to look further into it. I've had dreams that I can't explain, of dying and being on a ship. I think I was falling into boiling water or something, and people were getting shot all around. It was pretty gruesome, but it felt like it was in space. And I do feel like I was maybe utilized between age 5 and 15. I don't feel like it's followed me since then, except for the Omega programming that I've always had to fight. And that's been really tough on me. And they say it wears out, and I'm still waiting. So I don't know, maybe it's something else, but for the moment, it feels like Omega programming. I was going to follow through with that programming at one point, and I received a message in my head so strong that I was pushed backwards. And it said, "How can you do that to your mother?" And then I was pissed at my mom for quite a while. So, those are some of the things we go through, I think, growing up with these things that happen behind the scenes. I really had no idea of it at the time. But later on, I started figuring things out, and I started listening to the conversations in the SSP community and figuring out which ones resonated with my recall and memories, because I have a lot more than that, than what I'm saying. But those are just a few key points of it. But I don't know that I was like MKU'd in this lifetime or anything. I'm a West Coast boy, and so whatever happened to me was probably somewhere in this area. If I was MKU'd, I feel like maybe it was another lifetime, the last one, perhaps the one I can't remember. And
I feel it's
and
Chad,
so,
sorry to interrupt. I feel that you were MK Ultra along with myself at Sepulveda Boulevard, because I lived in Hollywood for a year, and every summer I'd go.
yeah, Hollywood haunts me a little bit. I actually got a really, because I'm very intuitive, so I got a really eerie feeling driving through where the celebrities live and stuff like that. Every house looked like a psychopath's house to me, and I was creeped out by it. I just could not get over. I said, this looks like a serial killer lives there. It looks like, it was the feeling I had inside me, actually. And so, I see that it runs in my family. Like my father is highly intuitive, and my mother is as well. And she's a little bit more precog and prolific. She can, well, I don't know if she predicted future, but she definitely predicted things as they were happening. She would dream them. And I felt they were brought together for me and my sister. And my sister, I do believe, is in the program as well. She's definitely got a lot of memories of, well, she goes to bed every night and sees, people taking notes and writing and looking at her like, why are you seeing us? And then she sees certain faces and everything. But I definitely get the sense she was in the assassin programs. She's always talking like that. And So I'm trying to figure out like how this could happen without everybody knowing. Because it's not just like it's me and nobody else in my family. I feel like we were brought together, and everybody in my family has a special something about them. We are a really unique family that way. And that's how I feel I'm part of this world, I believe. Yeah. There's more I can say to it. But again, it's a little bit like you, Alyssa. I'm still puzzling and piecing everything together. And I haven't had any recall memories. I'm not sure I want to. Maybe it's happened in my dreams, but nowhere else. So, and I will be co-hosting today, and I'll be enjoying everyone's stories. So I look forward to the show.
Thank you, Chad. And I do remember your Dexter altar.
Yes, that is
The-
my altar.
Yeah.
I felt if I was in the programs and they pushed me to that point, it was them I went after. It's not the targets. It's like, you made me into this, and now I'm coming after you. So that's that Dexter side to me.
Right. This is kind of like also kind of like part two with Bryan Tseng as well, and as well as calling all super soldiers. The Anthony and I have spoken before on other shows where after all the wars are done, we're celebrating. This is actually a memory that I have. I had written it down in like 2018 or 2019. This is after, okay? So after the celebration or in between the celebration, I have a memory where I go to sleep on my bed and I wake up in one of the hotel rooms. And then Bryan Singh is there and three other men are there. And I wake up and I'm like, what am I doing here? And he's in white. He's like in a top, a shirt, like a white hat as well, like kind of like a, I don't know, like one of those, I don't know how to say the name, but anyway. So he hands me the sifter, this rice sifter. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with the rice sifter? And he says, here. And when I look at it, it has white crystals. And I'm like, what? So I leave the room. And as I go out of the room, I don't know if it kind of looks like a conference hall, like a big one, but there's crystals everywhere on the floor, all kinds of crystals. It kind of reminds me of like Crystal Cities, kind of. We were walking on crystals, you guys. And I see there's a guy there that kind of looks like Brad Olson, but then there's another that he could be Marcel Scharfeit. He's my German friend. He's like real tall, uh, giant. And there's a lot of people just going around in little booths and things like that. And at the end, I was looking at these beautiful flowers that somebody made. There was like two females, a bunch of people around. And I say, oh, those are like really pretty flowers. I'd like to buy them for someone. But then the lady says, no, these flowers are for you. They were like these red roses, very different. I hadn't seen them before. And I just know that it's going to be okay at the end, because a lot of us have been going through stuff here on Earth, as well as off planet and inner Earth, that it's hard to keep going sometimes. And this is why I'm so grateful after everything that's happened to me recently, and I'm still going through it because I need more stuff done, that I'm feeling stronger. I've lost so much weight. The tumors are almost all of them are gone. The metal in my teeth is causing problems. I was telling Susan yesterday that I feel like because we were different, they gave us shots when we were kids, and then they put metal in our teeth and implants throughout our bodies to also check us out. And as far as DARPA, Anthony, why did a DARPA agent come to me? He used to be my friend in high school, threatened to end me because I had to stop talking about the CIA. He says, don't use the CIA. And I'm like, I'm gonna call it what it is, and he threatened me so many times. Finally, he stopped talking to me because we were on the phone texting, and I got the message that I sent him back to me in a green, like in the green thing. He says, oh shit, Veronica, we're being green screen. So that means anytime I have any kind of phone or laptop, whatever, we're being listened to, followed. Our family is affected. I mean, they broke into my mom's house 3 times. They were after my son recently. You guys know what happened. My daughter as well. They visit her at work, asking questions about me. Oh, why? You know? So anyway, that's the memory that I have. Another memory of Bryan as well. And I've been having a lot of more astral where I'm wearing the contacts where we have to use inner earth or underwater. They're big and you take them out. And I have memories of being in Jupiter. Also with this actor, Chatham, I can't say the name. Chatham, he has the blue eyes and he's in Jupiter Ascending. And he's also
Channing Tatum.
Channing
Channing Tatum.
Tatum. Yeah, I have a hard time saying that. Channing Tatum, yeah. He's also wearing the contacts and it's just weird. They're really huge and you got to put them in there. And I'm in front of the mirror, even at my place in the astral when I'm, because I'm pretty sure all of us here can levitate. I know I can. We're somnambulists, like you're sleepwalking, like, because that's when they take you or they tell you, hey, meet us here, you know. And I'm in front of the mirror and I'm like, what is this huge, contact? And there's other memories where there's so many memories, but there's some memories where he's very short, alien looking guy. And he's like he looks kind of like in between a penguin and like kind of like Eddie Monster, but not really. Like, okay, he looks just like the guy that's in Joker movie, the older Joker movies. And he hands me a pen and he hands me a black dress. And he's like, we're gonna be on this flight. You gotta put this dress on, you gotta meet with someone, and here's a pen. And that was to erase the memory of the man that I had to go see to get information back. So I've been in like so many programs. When I was with a certain person, he had an interview. He had me interview with Jay Essex. And Jay Essex told me that I was like source because I had all the abilities. And that JP, I'll just say his initials, that he was a seer. So that we were both put together in the twin program to spy on Nahuatl, even though I was on Nahuatl too. So it's kind of weird. I'm still having a lot of astral experiences where I'm saving the children. And I believe that last night I was helping to save Chad when he was a little boy, and also Anthony. We were going to a special camp, and I've been having more memories of that special camp where it was part of that thing I was talking about yesterday, Susan, where I think you were there, but I don't see your face. But I see a specific thing, a specific little purse, and it's yellow, and it's like a device where you turn it, but it's a device, it's not really a purse, And there's a lot of men that are melanin dominant that are more than 7 feet tall, and they're my friends. And we're in the sports medicine camp that we're actually getting ready to ship out. So the next day, which was last night or this morning, I had that, astro experience where I'm protecting Zender, Anthony. And I do have memories of Alyssa. She is in the mermaid program, but I call it the Crystal Gates program. And Bryan, yes, you must have been. That's when Jamin Vasquez talks about these scientists that are in the lab coats in the Hulk program looking and seeing, wow, these women are, wow, like we really augmented them. And I do have memories, yes, Susan, of being in the tubes. Sometimes we're upside down, sometimes we're right side up with the green, and there's also some blue goo and yellow. And there's an octopus that we're just hanging like that. And then right before my back surgeries, the doctor said that there was an octopus on my lower back. It was a black octopus around. So anyway, I'll open the floor to anybody who wants to talk. I do want to specify again what I was talking about yesterday and online, that I think we're going to have a war with China, or it could be, I know Taiwan is building up, Japan too, and North Korea. Remember, North Korea has so many, everybody has the weapons of what I call the, well, actually, Douglas Dietrich calls the anti-gravity gods that are actually in HARP. And I was saying this yesterday when I was on with Susan and Jacob Waters, is that when the military views these, there's always an empty space in the HARP facilities, and they're like, oh, it's clear. Well, it's not. It's holding these anti-gravity gods. And these are part of the atomic bomb, the, fusion, fission stuff that we worked on ships. I don't know if you guys have worked on ships. I've worked on ships mechanically too and flown them. You have to. Just like when you're a patrol officer, I had to always check my vehicle and work on it, make sure that it was in working order before you take off on it. Just same thing in space. I don't know, Anthony, if I've told you before, but we have been on the moon where that guy that ended up being a pedo, Mike, the Navy guy, we're in the moon, the dark side of the moon, and it's like a two-tier thing where there's the Endeavors, there's ships that look like the Endeavors, and then the solo ships. And he hands me this freaking pistol. It's a weapon. It's all silver, but it doesn't have a trigger, and it's a plasma. He hands it to me, and then the next day he sends out the blue men, the blue werewolf, to attack me. I'm like, mother effer. Anyway, I'll let you guys talk. Thank you. Go ahead, Anthony.
I mean, yeah, like, it's just, I know what, like we all know what this is all coming down to right now. And, it is definitely a shift into a next context of existence as we see the old world order fall, and that is what we're experiencing because it's falling on many different planes. Religiously, Abrahamism is falling, you know, politically democracy is falling because we're going to see the elections and that's going to like obviously lead into some serious problems after that because people are going to be going to war here, so politically it's failing, and economically, free market Zionist capitalism is failing. The people are starting to wake up to that the 1% have all the money and it's just controlling the world, and this is the revealing of the cabal or the elite, the people that control the world. And so this is the what we're experiencing. I know we're getting ready for what is called the Great Intimidation. As everything goes down, what is going to happen is they are going to show themselves. They're going to come decloaked. The crafts are going to become decloaked. There's going to be black triangles in the sky. They're already flying around right now all the time, all projecting holograms, but it's really a cloaked craft. The way it's cloaked is through some sort of mercury thing technology that it has. But they're always flying around just waiting for the shit to hit the fan, and then that's how they're gonna get control over everything. That's the great intimidation that I know of is what they're talking about because I've seen who's in that craft. They're super soldiers. You know what I'm saying? They come to us. They're huge. They're scary. If they landed right now,
Very
if they
scary.
popped, yeah, if they popped out of cloaking right now and landed and got out, people would be shitting their pants. So like that is we're getting ready for that. But that does come along with an establishment of a uh new paradigm and a new system, which is going to be what replaces the old world order with what is a new world order, which is something new. You know what I'm saying? Which is what this world needs to replace what has been old in the hierarchy that has enslaved us by these elite dynastic families that have been passing down their power in perpetuity for millennia now. So a new world order is something that is good, and this is going to lead us into a Star Trek civilization with a new religious paradigm, which is illumination, a new political paradigm, which is meritocracy. The best people are in the best positions, and that's how it's run. And then there is going to be a new uh, economic system, which is social and national capitalism, which is going to be a redistribution of wealth that doesn't allow the small percentage to get everything. It's all figured out. They have this way. The higher civilizations that have gone to higher levels, this is the way that they run their governments, and it's going to be the way we have ours, and it's going to be the Star Trek future because I've been having dreams. Like one of them was actually with my sister in it, and it was dark in the dream. It was all dark, and then my sister was beat up. Her face was beat up. I was tired. My mom was with us. And it was just this dark time. And then all of a sudden this portal opens in the sky and it's just this dark portal. And I'm just like, oh shit, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. And then it actually turned into light, like a light shined through the portal, and then it just turned into light and everything changed into like a light environment. And then there were like healing beds. There were the actual healing beds there. And me and my sister got to get in them. You know what I'm saying? So like that was to me, I interpreted that as, when we get to where we're looking to get to, there are going to be technologies and stuff that we're going to have access to. So we just have to make it there. That's what I understand.
I hope so,
Okay.
because there's a lot of debate going on with the med beds too. Go ahead, Chad, sorry.
Sure, yeah. So Anthony, when you're talking about the great intimidation, that seems to me like it would be brought on if we were winning. Like, why would they want to intimidate us unless they're just, I don't know, trying to beat us
That's
down
true,
or
yeah.
something?
No,
So,
that's true because that's why they want to reestablish order, out of chaos order. You know what I'm saying? And
okay,
then that's when they would show themselves so they could be able to do it. And obviously people are going to be there was the four ways that I said they were going to be. The first people are going to be shitting their pants. They're going to be scared. They're just going to be scared of what they're seeing because it's going to be a black
right, yeah.
triangle, just anti-gravity just sitting there. And then the second people are going to be the
And we're
religious.
to be pillars in that moment. We're to be
Well, we're going
calm.
to be the fourth. We're going to be the fourth kind because we're not going to be so surprised about what we see in the sky. But there's going to be the second people that are the religious fanatics. You know what I'm saying? The religious fanatics are going to be like just bowing and praying and everything like that. And then there's going to be the third people like that are the intellectuals that are all egotistical that are going to be like, oh, I told you. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew this was happening. And then there's going to be the fourth ones that are just like us that have been waiting for this to happen, and we will be able to transition with it the easiest.
Okay.
Can I speak a
So,
bit to the med beds? Oh, go ahead, Alyssa.
no, go ahead. You can.
Yeah,
Okay, our friend Audrey Walters, and she'll be speaking, not so shameless plug at her 2024 Full Disclosure Now conference next month, July in Florida. But she speaks to the Galactic Courts. And apparently she and others go there during while they sleep or in the astral to attend these proceedings. And Penny Bradley is apparently a bailiff in these same courts, and they've seen each other. And so, that's one heck of a delusion. We're having shared delusions in sleep time with other people. But among the things you're saying is that with these galactic courts, okay, the technology for the med beds is apparently like a Palladian military type technology. So it's rightfully their technology. And they therefore have the right to say whether or not it can or cannot be used on Earth. And as far as they're concerned, this technology has been stolen by these secret space programs and it's being misused. And so, part of it is I believe they're petitioning the courts to round up all the med bed technology that's unauthorized at this point. And until Earth has disclosure and we ascend and we're a high enough vibration that we're not going to abuse this technology, like regenerate super soldiers to go out and rampage and kill and steal, that then we're not going to officially get it. That's at least what I've learned from Audrey.
Bryan, thank you. Now that you would think that our brothers in the SSP and our brothers in the alien form, do you think that they would be stupid enough to let the people have, the ones that want to destroy? They can read our minds, you guys. They can read our mind. So what I see, Anthony and Bryan, to kind of like tag along with that, is I see them saying, okay, here's your uniform, Veronica. Come on, we're going. Come on, Anthony. Come on, Susan. Come on, Chad. Come on, Alyssa. Come on, Bryan. Come on, super soldiers. The time is now. And yeah, they'll give us like maybe 1 second to like, I knew this was awesome. I knew this was real. I knew I wasn't crazy. Like 1 second, then boom, let's go. Like that's how it is pretty much. You're the wars that are going on right now and the wars that we have been through and the simulations that are still coming and the wars that are still coming is preparing us for the alien invasion. I know that there is something also called the fake alien invasion, but believe me, the Greys want a war. Um, I don't know if there's any good gray aliens out there. I mean, I always say there's good and bad with everything, but yeah, so I'm waiting for that day. And that's why I tell everybody we got to get prepared physically and things like that. Go ahead, Susan.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna have a lot of people knocking on my door and calling me. Cause I already told my sister, if you see ships landing, do not go outside, stay in the house. It's not gonna be good, cause they're gonna send bad guys to scare everyone and make them submit. That's what I think they're gonna do.
Yeah, that's why they're hiring a bunch of people. The guy that owns FEMA over there in Hawaii, like I said yesterday, and I've said it before repeatedly, I have a friend who works for FEMA here in Tucson, and she says that most of these men, they're middle aged, they come from Russia, Africa, and Afghanistan, Mexico, and other countries, and they're bringing in fake families, and the children, they don't even know, the couple doesn't even know the history of the child. And so what they do is they say, okay, what's your name? And that they drop their ID, their old ID, and they're given a new ID. And then what happens if they have the COVID symptoms, you know, or whatever? They're sent to the Red Roof hotels here. Sorry, I've lost so much weight. This used to be so small on me. So they're sent to the Red Roof hotels until they're better. And then they're sent off wherever they want to go, other countries. So these men are being hired for for the bad black ops. We'll just say, well, there's good and bad black ops, but they're being sent for this war, for intimidation. And another thing that I see is the religious thing that, like how Anthony was saying, there's going to be worship, like, oh, Jesus is here. And what I saw too is that they're going to put like a hologram of either Mother Mary or Jesus or Saint Michael, Archangel Michael.
And they want everyone to submit to be
Yep.
colonized for this new world order BS, and I will not submit. None of you guys will either. So yeah.
What do you think, Alyssa?
I'm gonna bring it back down to 3D a little bit, I guess. And circling back to Chad, just thank you for sharing that with the Omega programming, because I've struggled with that a lot. And especially a couple years ago in Arizona, when my targeting really started ramping up. I guess at the beginning, I kind of skipped over the fact that I'm a healer as well. I've been a massage therapist for 10 years, and I am passionate and kind of specialize in aquatic body work. And I'll be talking about that a lot more in my presentation. I don't want to water it down too much right now, because there's a lot of connections that I want to make in a specific order of how it fits into my life story. But it feels like my targeting really ramped up at a time when I was stepping into my role, my rightful role, and why I'm really here. And I got extremely depressed, and like every day, Chad, like I didn't want to be here anymore. I couldn't see myself continuing to go. I was trying to find answers, and unfortunately, I think I was kind of opening up to some of the people that were hurting me at that time, because I couldn't see yet who was behind what was going on. And so just wanted to circle back to that. And also the fact that this definitely runs in families. It's affected everyone in our family in different ways. There's different levels of awareness about what's going on, but I think that one of the main things that I can point out is that our grandfather on our mother's side was an engineering professor at Central Washington University. He was into aerospace engineering. He was part of the Star Wars project and developing lasers and vertical takeoff and landing mechanisms. And at his funeral, he died of cancer. And it was strange. He was pretty healthy, so it felt like a targeted thing. And I remember the very last movie that we watched together with our grandfather was Hellboy, which features time traveling Nazis, of course. It's like, why the fuck are we watching this as a family with our dying grandfather? And I feel like it's like a little seed that was planted for me to look back on in the future. Like, that was the significance of this. I had absolutely no idea. And I don't even think Anthony was public at that point, but this definitely runs in families. At our grandfather's funeral, someone approached our aunt and said, "Your family is being watched." And it was another faculty member at Central Washington University. I wouldn't be able to name them at the moment, but said, "Your family's being watched." And that's happening at our grandfather's funeral, who was involved in aerospace engineering. And so this definitely runs in families. It rips families apart all the time. And so on that level, I feel very grateful to have a sibling that is aware and helped guide me through this. And we're kind of doing the same for younger family members now. Everybody plays a different role, and so we all really need to listen to one another. Like, all of these faction wars that go on in the community and stuff, it's bullshit. It's a distraction. It's a waste of energy. If you don't like what someone's saying, don't listen. Just don't listen. Find the people that you want to talk to and go in that direction. And I believe that you actually said this, Veronica, before we were recording, but you talked about a clown mask in your dream and like a humiliation ritual sort of thing for Anthony, which is really interesting to me because both of us have been through humiliation rituals. This was going to be part of my presentation in July as well. Halloween 2017, I was dressed up as a mime. So I had like a clown mask on. It was cute, it wasn't like an ugly, I was a cute mime. But I had the mask on, and it was really symbolic for the fact that I did not speak that night about my boundaries and that I was not okay with what was happening. And I completely shut down. I altered out. That was the first time that I can clearly remember having that experience of like, okay, well, not the first time, because I had dealt with a lot of dissociation throughout my life, and especially as a teenager. But this one was like, like flipping a switch because there was an occult symbol used on me without my consent, a pentagram. And that is a humiliation ritual. There's a good book called Drunk on Genocide, and it talks about humiliation ritual. There's a chapter on humiliation rituals that the Nazis used, and alcohol is a big part of that too. Substances of any kind, because you go into a dissociated state and you're therefore more vulnerable to entities and energies coming in. So that was one of mine, and Anthony had a humiliation ritual happen to him literally at a conference in Vegas. So that's very interesting to me that you had that dream last night, that kind of featured aspects of those things to both of us. The humiliation rituals are designed to shut you down so that you don't fulfill your purpose.
I can tell you offline what it was because I don't want to say it online. For Anthony, I was so pissed. Now, I'm gonna go back. When I get really mad, I cry. I just want to fucking just get this fucking shit over with. Like, but anyway, um,
You're
going back
only
to
crying 'cause you can't kill them.
exactly, because we have the superpowers to just end them with our minds. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, going back to Halloween, you triggered something. I was Rob Zombie Girl, Halloween 2010, when I was told to shoot myself. My ex-husband beat me up. He told me later, he told my sister that I was taking a shower, and I don't remember. I don't remember a lot. I don't remember grabbing my weapon. And I won't, anyway. Rob Zombie, that night before all this happened, I had been in a concert as a police officer. I was there for Rob Zombie. And before that, it was Alice Cooper. All right, so all these rituals were going on without my awareness. And they made sure, hey, we need Veronica here, we need Bartolini, you know, we need Olivares here. And they would always make sure that I was in those concerts. And it was in a To'ona O'odham place. It was at one of the casinos. So now, knowing now about the Omega Project, that shit is real. And then going back to what you were saying about family, yeah, my great grandfather was Francisco Antonio Bartolini, who was sent, he was the right-hand man of Napoleon. He was sent to somewhere in Alamos, and he was working on the fission bomb. So I don't know if he was working with the Nazis or not, because one of my aunts, okay, so it was my grandfather's aunt, Francisca, we would call her Tia Panchita Bartolini. She ended up marrying an Oppenheimer, and they told her, if you end up marrying this Oppenheimer dude, we're gonna disinherit you, they told the guy. Well, they ended up killing him, shooting him in the back when he went to South America, and there's also rumors that they killed my great-grandfather. So it is in families. I'm not crazy. My father was part of the Illuminati, the bad Illuminati, Scientology ritual where he killed himself because he was being tortured since he was a child, since he was a young boy. His aunts would put him in a storage room or the bathroom and say, you know, the devil's there, you're a bad kid, he's gonna get you. And he would do the same thing to me when I was a child. And it was horrible. A lot of things.
Veronica,
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta ask then, do you have like a lot of like South American origin where like the paperclip Nazis fled, and then that might be some of your own family heritage?
Yes, I have Dominican Republic bloodline. I have German bloodline, which last name is Fisher. I have Italian bloodline. I'm 8 to 10% Ashkenazi Jew. I come from the Merovingian bloodline. I am part of the Camelot 13 families. When I was in high school, they took me to this program called Close Up, me and another guy. They would choose 1 or 2 kids from high school. I don't know why. And we had to go and because I said, I want to be a president. I want to be in politics. So they took me to Washington, D.C. They took me to the Pentagon. They took me to all these museums. Oh my gosh, it just makes sense. And then they took us to a play for Camelot. We watched Camelot reenactment again. So, and I just remembered all this like the other day because watching Carrie Cassidy, she has Project Camelot, and she talks about that. Like, are we descendants of, sorry, my language. I have to read lips sometimes. Are we descendants of King Arthur? I know we have the Merovingian bloodline. If you look at your palms, I always say there's an M for the Merovingian bloodline. I was born, you know, on like the middle of my butt. I was born with purple and yellow, so it was yeah, yellow and blue. Sorry, so it was a purple thing. It's the Mongolian thing. So I also have. They mixed me up. They gave me all these bloodlines. I have the Italian bloodline, the Persian bloodline, I have French on both sides. Mosot is the last name, Rivera, like Spain as well. Gonzalez, Villarino, Bartolini. And then they changed their last name. So I don't know what my great grandfather was before Bartolini. And I don't know, oh yeah, I do know what my great grandfather, my mom's side, was before Villarino. He was Gomez, trying to hide the Jewish line. And he married my great grandmother from Dominican Republic. He fled from Spain because of the bubonic plague. They killed his wife and his sons. So he had to come down to Baja California and went into priesthood. But then he met my great grandmother and he left the priesthood and married her. And the girls, they had 10 girls, 10 to 12 girls, and all of them wore the bullets here across the chest, and they were all guerreras with Pancho Villa. And my grandmother, my mom's mom, her father was French, and he was the mayor of Baja California, and charged also the military. So it makes sense now, right? But my family is divided too, Alyssa. It's hard. I know. I was so depressed. It's like I don't want to live no more, but you know, then I had my awakening and all this stuff happened. And in 2017, I started remembering, like, you know, because there's always these people that say, you're not so special. You're not special. Who do you think you are? Well, and then you have to back down also from the ego. Like, really? Me? Damn. Like, but they make it hell here and off planet too with rapes, molestations from family. I've had it all. CIA, you know, love bite shit. They send someone to you, say, oh, maybe this is the one. They propose marriage. Right, Anthony? Right, Susan? The twin program?
Oh yeah, I gotta mention that. Now he's requesting all videos being taken down, and he's aligned with Sabrina and Sean the Ruiner saying SSP isn't real. Yeah. And you know, that's just in time for this conference, because that's who he is, the malignant predator narcissist sociopath. And we all remember seeing him there.
I remember him in the program, so he can't be saying that they're fake. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, yes, it's CIA, but hey, we have our alien comrades that are real. And the Venusians have been here underground for millennia. Okay, so it's like, you know, the Greys, the Alpha Draconis, come on. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, I wanted to ask just for people to comment on that perhaps, because I've heard before that Montauk started the secret space program, but I believe the secret space program has been forever. And they just infiltrated it, correct? Okay, because it does get a little confusing as far as the way the time works. That's where I struggle. And I think Susan was trying to explain that the other day, and was doing pretty well. That time doesn't exist over there, so that's where I get confused. Maybe if I was able to process that better in my head, I'd be able to make more sense of my situation. But that's where I get that's where I feel like I get disconnected, is the time.
Yeah, we all have been disassociated. They told me that I had DID. Well, there's dissociation that happens with the programs.
Yeah.
And maybe it's compartmentalized, where Montauk Project or Project Phoenix, that was more where they're focusing on the time travel aspects with the Montauk Trip Chair and the Psychic Kids. Whereas SSP, they're up in space, but there's going to be perhaps a lot of overlap.
We're
you know,
both up in
travel and
space. Yeah, we're, as far as me, and I know you guys
Okay.
have your people.
That's where I also get a little confused, because in my head, I don't feel like there is a space above us. There's like more of a firmament, a dome. I'm not exactly sure where we are. I'm one of those people, so then I question it, and I'm like, well, maybe it exists in the 5D, or maybe we're in a simulation and space is outside of this simulation. It's not what we're being, because I'm not aware of planets. I feel like Mars may be beside us or something in another dome, or you know what I mean. And like, I don't know, or underground. So the planet thing throws me off sometimes too, and the traveling through there, because I do hear about the firmament and that sort of thing. So I'm wondering, is space real or is space not real? That's where I get.
I learned something, actually in a book called The Adrenochrome Conspiracy, and it is written by the Pythagorean Illuminati, and they have a group of people that they work with, and they're called the Unveilers, and these Unveilers are basically unveiling what adrenochrome does and why it's important to the elites. Because it literally, there is an alpha world, the world we know, and then there's an omega world. And the first actual person, that modern day person, was an SS occultist named Carl Maria Wilgen, and he was the driving force behind the SS and Heinrich Himmler, and with the knowledge of Omega World and adrenochrome being how they accessed Omega World consciously. So this other space that you're talking about is does exist. There's a whole other dimension,
Yeah.
that exists. that is you can get to, that they're coming from, that these experiences happen in. And in the adrenochrome conspiracy, they reveal that, you know, this was a main reason for the death camps, is because they were harvesting adrenochrome, because the Nazis found out its usage, because, you know, they had the Onanabra, that were all the SS special forces units that were going across all the world to gather all the ancient artifacts and stuff. And this was part of the secret occult knowledge, that was known by the Nazis, was the existence of this other reality, another world that they can go to.
And it also goes back to the Armon and the secret societies. And back before Da Vinci, I'm trying to find the name of the guy, but there was a guy who was from Sweden, and he actually made the egg-shaped ship that I've been on way back then. So they've had ships way before. It's a Swedish scientist. It says before Da Vinci, discovered in 1867. Inventor was Christopher Poland. And also Mesmer talks about that there's something specific with the moon, with the egg craft, mystery schools, body, enneagram, and moving perpetual motion, aligned side by side in the musical. Oh, this is when I was talking about how Dark Journalist talks about the Mesmer time, where they had the metronome. I've been a musician since I've been playing my violin since I was in 4th grade and singing. So they always had the metronome, you know, like kind of like to hypnotize you. And Mesmer was actually Mozart's godfather, and that's when they were working on somnambulism, the secret magnetism of somnambulism. Now the egg shaped, I remember Susan there, James was trying to not let us in. We were at a hotel and there was a bunch of, there was just ladies there. I think it was Amaria, Susan, I don't know who else, a bunch of girls with me. And he had us locked in. He didn't want us to leave. And this is a memory from 2018, I believe. And so he puts this kind of like claymore looking thing under the doorway to pretty much bomb us. And I don't know what I did to not let that thing go off. And I pretty much kicked his ass. And then I took Susan, and all the paperwork was on top of the, I'm always like saving the paperwork too, you know, because it's our paperwork. So I was like, it was on top of the bed, and I was like, come on, girls, let's go. And so we got the paperwork and we left. We left James there. We didn't we had to leave him and his goons there, or whatever they called. Sorry about the word, but just came out. So then we just go outside, and there's this skyscraper, and above the skyscraper, we're on top of this building. I don't know if it looks like Montauk, like New York. And this egg-shaped sphere comes. Now, what I
Love you.
saw, huh? Go ahead. No, I'm done.
I
Go
gotta run. Love you guys. I already paid this talk. So
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Honestly,
okay.
but I haven't been to yoga in 2 weeks because they've canceled. So I gotta run.
Okay,
All right. Love you guys.
I love you. Be safe. Okay, so anyway, oh, okay, I saw the message now. All right, she has to go. So we escaped that way. There's another memory, the first memory that I had, and I don't know where the picture is. But the first memory that I had in 2017 was I saw the two suns. One was black, one was bright. And then there was these Nazi guys in green uniform and a very old airplane, a regular, it kind of looked like a Boeing 7 something, but not really. It kind of looked like an F-16 as well. But there was a few people that were there in uniform, and then it was kind of like, I don't know if it was a school or not, but there was like an awning, and there was a bunch of kids lined up to be taken off planet. And then as soon as there's a little girl, I remember she had a little like a lamb stuffed animal, and they were to be taken to off planet, I mean. And as soon as I saw that, I saw a huge, kind of like the Endeavor, come down and stand, and there's like a little window on top. So weird. And it was gonna take all the kids, and it was German soldiers, Nazi. So that's when I had to contact I think I contacted David Morrow, and then I contacted Susan online, and I also contacted Barry Littleton, what's his name? Because of the Andromedans that I saw in the vision. There's another vision that these raven mockers, I call them raven mockers, that are half human and half birds, that actually are kids of the giants and the bad angels. And I talked about that yesterday, so you guys can watch that. I'll post the video on here, but they were coming from the ground. The ground was shaking, and there was these huge eagles that were that were cacti, green like this, and coming out of earth. And I'm like, started running. I'm like, come on, you guys. It's like, come on, the world, there's something happening. The earthquake happened, it shook, and then it broke earth in half like that. And then it like became like a berm. And then I had to fly up there and sit. And it was kind of like a train station. And then these Andromedans, I think they're from Andromeda. That's what Barry Littleton said. They were black melanated dominant with tight, beautiful, shiny hair. And they had two things of gold, round things on their neck. And they had the coats of the rainbow, and they came to help me. So I feel that perhaps maybe it'll start like that, or it'll start with an earthquake. Or that's another thing Carrie Cassidy was saying, that because they don't want Trump to be elected, that they're probably going to mess with the weather wars. I don't know. Could be an earthquake, could be a flood. So, Bryan, did you want to say something? Sorry.
I was going to ask, what else did Barry have to say? Because it's really great that I love how our community is coming together and seeing the experiencers of both the negative and the positive get together and compare notes, especially since our good friend Barry is he'll be presenting as well next month there in Florida. He definitely speaks to being more on the positive ET contactee side. And I got to admit, my impressions of my developing friendship with Barry over the last year or so has been, his mind's been a bit blown hearing some of the negative testimonies. People have had run-ins with the service to self type ETs in league with, the Black Ops programs, right? So what was his feedback in terms of your recalls there in the Andromedans?
Well, it's been confirmed that I'm from Andromeda, and by myself, my dreams and my visions, and also that I've been in Sirius B and in the Orion Wars. So, this was in 2017, and I messaged him on Messenger, and he just told me, yeah, he says that they feel that they're the Andromedans that are coming here to help. That's all he said. He didn't really have a lot of time. And he's been so busy lately that we haven't talked for a while. I think the last time we messaged was like 2 years ago. Everybody's like really busy. So that's why I keep making these shows, because I'm like, wow, who's next? Who wants to talk next? Because it's really fun, and sad sometimes too, but it's really awesome to get you guys here, because we're so busy, and just to remember, hey,
Talking
sometimes.
about the positive contact, definitely I have positive contact with Arcturians. Definitely know that they are my soul family. I've been contacted in my dreams. When I actually decided to take the red pill, I had a dream of them giving me the red pill, like they were giving me the red pill. And I also had experience where I did have a DMT experience where I took it and went down this hole. I was just scared. that I was just scared. Then all of a sudden, boom, I came out the other side and I heard telepathically, don't be afraid. And then I felt two Arcturians on both sides of me, and they were just like helping me out, like healing me and stuff. And I've understood that like when they do take us for my labs and stuff, they are involved with healing us when they put us back. You know, the good ones. And so, you know, definitely I've had positive experience with ETs, and I know that they're looking out for the ones that they're with, you know, whoever your origin is from. So, and then Bryan, I do remember a song from you the other night. I remember this is where you know, you're mentioning alternate timelines and stuff like that. And I just remember being in a suburban with you, and we were there like obviously on some sort of mission or something. And I remember I was pointing that out the window, and I was like, dude, I'm like, look at this fucking UFO right here. And you were just kind of like, ah man, whatever, I don't care. Like you were just like, whatever, dude. Like you're like, I don't even care. Like but that's all I remember from that. But yeah, man, I remember something. So it's all
Is that
coming,
like
you know.
is that an SSP memory? Is that like is that in the
Well,
future? Is
when
it
I'm in the
past life?
Suburbans, I do equate those with SSP, you know.
Yes,
Um,
yes, the Suburbans and the GoPros, because we wear
yeah,
GoPros sometimes. And I have a memory where we're in like apartment complexes and it's you, me, it's the people that well, a bunch of us super soldiers were wearing the GoPros, and in front, it's so weird because in front there's like a screen on top where where they're sending stuff on the screen and then to the GoPro. So it's like they're giving us orders that way. They're telling us, hey, this is, or we're telling them, hey, this is what we see up front, and then send it back to them. It's like, send more troops, guys. Because it was against the aliens that we were fucking like ready. We're like, fuck yeah, we got our machinery, we got our, you know, oh, we got our suits, man. I can't wait to be back.
I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead. What, Chad?
No, I'm ready.
I'm ready too. I'm ready too.
Yeah. I don't think I
I
can be
also
quick
had a
any
really
further.
I had a really beautiful positive contact experience as well during one of my Watsu trainings. So Watsu is one of the aquatic bodywork modalities that I've studied, and we saw ships over the ridge line, like right at the beginning of the training. It was a 5-day course, and it was in La Quinta, California. And so there's these rolling hills, and over the ridge line, I have a photo that I'm including in my presentation, that there's this plasma in orange, blue, all these different just
Those are the
magnificent
crystal ones.
colors. And it looks like it's emanating off of a stake, because there's a hollow space in the middle. And this plasma is just like radiating off of it right over the ridge line, right at the beginning of our Watsu training. And everyone that was present, it was a class of me and 2 other students and our instructor. And we were all very aware that it was a positive ET presence. I don't know exactly who it was.
I think they are.
I resonate with Andromedans and Syrians, and Syrians in particular, with just all the aquatic
Oh yeah,
beings and everything. So, and music too. Like you hear the trumpets
yeah.
in
And
your head when the Syrians are coming in.
sounds kind of like angelic. And I'll wake up and
Yeah.
I don't have anything on. Like, they're beautiful. They
Yeah.
are, I have a memory too that ties into yours. I saw these ships and it was nighttime and they were like crystals, beautiful. And me and another boy, we were young, we were like maybe our teenage years. After the ships had gone, because there's a lot of people just looking up like, what the hell's that? And they kind of look like crystal Milky Ways as well, like with the ships. And we picked up these crystals. They were like crystals falling from the sky. And it's because now that you said that, now I can say that they got too close. And sometimes, you know, with the dome that's here, the electromagnetism that's around too, I feel that that when they hit too close, the crystals fall. So they were like pink, lavender, a little bit of blue, and a little bit of yellow. But oh, it's beautiful. I can't wait to. I really wanted to go to Florida, but I can't yet. But I can't wait to see you guys again. It's amazing how we met, like I finally met Alyssa. I can't wait to see you again, Anthony and Bryan, and Chad came to see me from California, and I met Alyssa finally in person. And she was just a big old light, like of love. You guys are so.
I remember the first thing you said to me, and I was so flattered. You said, "Girl, I love your shoulders," because
I
you like
do,
you
I love
recognized
them.
that I lifted my them. Yeah.
You are
Um,
one, and you're always
Thank
like
you.
that, and Anthony too. I mean, Anthony's a fighter. My goodness, MMA fighter también. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just it's funny because watching that Halo series, the new Halo series, that really does hit home. That hits home because we're in it like men and women both. It's actually funny, like they got the team on there and they have the women on there, and that does remind me of like you and my sister, on the team of fucking super soldiers, going getting sent in on different planets doing missions. And that's a good disclosure show for sure. Because it really does like you watch it and you're like it
I
hits
gotta
home like
watch it. I have to watch it. I do. I haven't seen it, but you know what movie like resonates too? Gamer, and you were talking about something else, with the P, another movie. But when they're trying to use our ourselves to like, in the video games, and then they're playing our avatar in the video game. Like these rich people, that's what they
Oh,
do.
Ready Player One, or is that?
Gamer.
Okay, gamer. Yeah, it's all in the movies. Like the elite do disclose soft disclosure in movies. That's what soft disclosure is through movies. Like they can put all their secrets out. This has been confirmed by the Pythagorean Illuminati in their 273 books they've written. Like they definitely say that the elite put their secrets out in movie, and it is soft disclosure. So it's just, yeah, it's just about gathering all the information up about what's really going on and putting it all together, compartmentalizing or compartmentalizing what's been decompartmentalized, and is the process of what we're doing, because we each have a piece of the puzzle too, which is part of understanding the whole picture and bringing that reality into this one because the more minds that are awakened to this, that is the more that reality will come into this one, and we want to live in the truth, not the lie. So we're doing a good service and waking up minds little by little, because the more minds we wake up, the more the consciousness can change, because only a handful of people can change the consciousness of a world, and we are definitely part of that handful, which is not an easy task.
Yes, Anthony, and we can also change AI because AI is, I call it malleable. We can influence artificial intelligence, and there's more than 9 artificial intelligence. And those wars are coming, and I've seen them in the machine war. I call them the
Well,
machine AI wars.
we got to remember too, we are the ones with the soul. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important connection to God that there is your soul. And so that is the immortal actual part of us, is our soul. So I mean, I know this because I do have past life memories coming back. I actually have one memory where I was in the mystery schools in Egypt. I have a lot of Egyptian memories, but I was in the mystery schools in Egypt because I was going through as an initiate there. I remember being out on a balcony with drapes and overlooking the city, and I actually remember when I actually first woke up, I had a vision. I went out to the end of this dock. It was like a mystical day. I went out to the end of the dock and I started meditating, and I sat there for 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden, out of my third eye, pop, I see the all-seeing eye, like just bam, and then it's actually blinking at me, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, shit, what the? And then so then I actually I bilocated, and then I was over a desert. I was just flying over a desert, and I just started seeing the trees and the and the palm trees, and then I was in front of the Great Pyramid. Like I looked up and was in front of the Great Pyramid, and that was the like beginning part of the beginning of my awakening. You know, I had my Kundalini awakening after that, and then I had the memories come back too of being initiated in those schools, because one of the memories I actually remember is being in one of the chambers in the pyramid. I was in one of the chambers because it was just cold and dark. Like I remember feeling death, cold, dark, death. And from studying the pyramids, I know that they have those chambers that are cold. But I remember feeling that way. And then I know that this was part of the initiations, was going through what they initiated to, so you could be put in one of these chambers, and then rise your light body out of your body. Because I remember sitting in that chamber, and then all of a sudden I started levitating, and then I just lit up, like my whole body just lit up. And that's when I came out of that memory. And that was I knew I was recalling a past life on that. So that's why I want to talk about the soul and memories of the soul, because I do like that's important to know, because it is immortal. We on the other side, the Pythagorean Illuminati talk about this. Like some souls drink more of the river of forgetfulness, on the other side than other people do. So we obviously, we're ready not to come back here again. So that's why we remember more. And so it's all about remembering. And every soul is a monad, is a mind that is on the path to becoming God. Like that's the purpose of the universe, because Abrahamism has separated God from humanity, and put us in a master slave dialectic. But like the Gnostic religions and stuff, like what the Templars were studying, and actually what illumination is, the supreme form of illumination is Gnosticism. And that is that any soul can become God, through in divine, and connect to their divinity. And that is actually done through the hero's journey as well. That I found out, and put that all in my book. And that's what's going to be the dialectical evolution of this universe. The dialectic meaning the universe has a purpose. It's evolving to something, and that is actually for every soul to achieve its maximum potential and actualization. And that's the process of reincarnation that is happening for each soul. Is what I'm studying in illuminism, which is the secret religion of the Pythagorean Illuminati.
Yeah.
And it's very enlightening.
Yes, thank you, Anthony. I have memories of being in a cave, and it was a cave, and then it was a triangle. And as soon as I wake up in 2017, I wake up on my bed and I'm like, there's this man coming out with the turban, and he's dark, and he has a beard, and he's white. He has the white how do you say I'll just call it a dress, a white dress with a white turban, and he comes out going like that to show me the holes in his hands, and he's coming to me. And that's one of the masters. I've also had Paul from the Mormon religion, I guess, or there's a master called Paul. I've had Mary come to me. So I know that I've been a part of the masters. We have to be a part of the masters in order to come here to this realm. And Chad was saying something about, there's other things, like, for example, Santos Bonachis the other day said that there was 7 layers of firmament under the earth, and that Marconi said that it was not going around in circles, that it was firm, firme, to his deathbed. He said it is firm. We're not going around in circles, and that there's 7 layers of planets under us. Now, Chad a lot of times talks about, like, there's the Catalina Mountains are right here, and it looks like a big old giant, like a dragon. So it just seems like, look at the Cuban underground Cuba. There's a bunch of like places there too that they've excavated. So it just seems like they were just building on top. And supposedly they say that Earth is the hardest school. So it's like, we're here. I feel we've already been up. We've come up from, if that's true, we've come up from underground, or other planets, you know, and because Santos also says, oh, well, the planets are gas, and that Mars is actually in Greenland, that they filmed Greenland, and it's, you know, it's not Mars. And but I know that I've been on Mars, and it not only the Phoenix Lights, Phoenix also looks like Mars. So they do a lot of crap to our mind. That way we sometimes we have to really go into our intuition and say, okay, was I really on Mars? Yes. But there's other alternates here. There's other simulations going on. I've also been in Antarctica in another simulation with that too. So it's just crazy. It's
A good disclosure movie for, what you're talking about with, how they go with our minds, mess with our minds, how they have the technology to do it is also Bloodshot. The movie Bloodshot is a very, very good movie for the super soldier
I had
because
to buy that movie.
yeah, they erase his mind, they manipulate it. There's also the technology where they show the nanotech and the femotech technology. So that one is just right on, but it's they keep erasing his mind and replaying something new. And he's like, through the movie, he's like, I swear I've heard this before, you know. And that's what I understand is happening with us though, because they do keep on erasing our memories, which is actually kind of for our benefit too, because if we really did remember everything, it would be fucking hard as shit. So it is for our benefit, but I do remember trip chair. I remember getting my memory erased in the trip chair. And apparently I've done over 4,500 missions. They've done this over and over again that many times, which I definitely believe because it's been it feels like it's been a lot. So um but I know that what I'm involved in is for the greater good because the missions that I'm involved in are like capturing or capturing high value targets, the people that are behind the scenes doing this, rescuing children, definitely have those memories and also like, sabotage, stealing stuff from them, being espionage, being infiltrated, always having memories of running away had one
No,
memory. Yeah, I'm like had one memory where I was running away. Some agents were chasing me. I got into this elevator door. I got to the side of it. They started riddling bullets into the door. Then they cut the line to the elevator. I fell down like
shut
100
up. I've had
stories.
memories of being in and out, having to climb inside the elevator. What the hell?
I mean, but like I fell down that elevator, slammed on the bottom. I was shifted into my super soldier mode, so I was okay. I didn't die. I got out. There were all sorts of agents around me, and then I started running up the walls, doing what a runner can do. It's actually shown in Quantum Break. You can slow down time. I've had memories of that, and everything. And I remember running up the walls. I remember manifesting weapons out of my hands,
Yeah,
and
I
which
remember
are
that.
actually called 3-in-1s. They call them 3-in-1s because they have three different type of discharges on them. And then I just started simultaneously targeting everybody while I was upside down. And that was obviously one time where I was shifted. The mission went wrong, and I had to shift, and
That's part of
that was
when we
it
are
is
able
it
to get
is.
out our weapons, because I have memories of having these silver hands. Like, what the fuck? And then you just can shoot whatever. You could do it so many things. Like, it's so cool. So cool.
Yeah, it's real too. It's real because
Very
other yeah, it's but one thing I understand too is when I was a little kid, and they were taking me periodically when I was a child, obviously, while they were grooming me, I would be put back in my bed with bloody nose. I would have a bloody nose, but this is when they were taking me to the deep underground military bases because I was having memories of being on operating tables, them putting implants into me, just like they show in the super soldier movies. And then they would put me back in my bed, because that's part of Operation Green Star. These craft come and take you to the underground bases to turn you into a super soldier. And what I learned was with the ones that were going up my nose, they were putting implants into my nose. They were to control psychic ability.
They hurt. Oh,
So
I know. And then you get migraines because I would go to bed with, sometimes I'd wake up and it's like bloody nose or my ears. My ears were bleeding all the time. And there was one, I was like, this was when I lived right in front of Lincoln Elementary. I was maybe 5 years old. And this one, this ear hurt so bad. And I put a Q-tip in there. And there was like, my parents had a family thing going on. And I heard a voice say, put it against the chair and see how far it can go. And that voice, and I did it, and I ended up in the emergency room because they were targeting me and I had bloody ear. And that's why that picture that I show all the time of me being this little chubby kid with the red hair, they had to give me cortisone and I was allergic to it, so I blew up. And it was horrible. I was so little, and I'm like, why did you tell me to stick that Q-tip and hit you know what I'm saying? Fuckers. So I remember the bloody ear, bloody nose.
yeah, those are indications of abductions, definitely.
No,
And
so weird. But anyway, a lot of stuff when I was little, I would wake up when my mom was hitting me because I was at the neighbor's door swimming in the pool, and I don't remember, like, why are you taking me? I do have memories of a ship coming down, and it was like the kind of like the bell, but more flat. And there was one female that was in a purple suit with big old eyes, and then a guy in a blue suit, and then the yellow suit. And they were also showing me to do the cube thing. They had us do all kinds of, there's other kids there too. And this is when I was like 3 years old. And I told Peter about it. He says they actually took you. Essex said they took me a year and a half. And that's when they started injecting me with the
that's young. That's young.
huh?
I said that's young. I've heard, I mean, I haven't heard a year and a half yet. I've heard
Yeah.
2, 4, 6. Yeah, I mean, year and a half is the
Year and a half.
youngest I've heard.
Yeah, and that's when those scientists, I had them written down, I don't have the names right now, but the German scientists that fled to Mexico from Germany and stuff. And then that's what they were messing with me in Mexico and here in Arizona. And like I said, I lived in California and gone to Tennessee, to Texas. When I was in the military, they took me to Fort Huachuca. And I don't have too many memories. I do remember that I thought I was pregnant, and at the time I was engaged to be married. I'm not going to say his name, but he was also in the army. And it actually ended up being what they call a ghost pregnancy. But I didn't have my period for 3 months, and he took me to a ranch with some of his friends in El Paso. I remember being in Fort Huachuca, so I was only like, feels like 19. And it still haunts me. Like, what else did I do over there? I do have memories of going underground with Max Spears and what's his name? Michael Prince. And that was during Dulce. I've been in Dulce. Gosh,
Being a super soldier is just it is like the real life Jason Bourne, because you've done you just like they show in the movie, he does things he doesn't remember, but he did them. And that's exactly the same thing we go through, being part of the program. So it's right on that movie.
yeah, when I first saw Jason Bourne, I tripped out. I'm like, shit, that's my life. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry. Thank you. Anthony, we're gonna say something, Brian? Or
Oh, no, no, not really. I just, I have zero recall of anything. And so I know that, I mean, I'm not surprised I'm involved in any of this, but I just, for me, perhaps I came through a different path, like just like how, Tony Rodriguez, he ran into the wrong kid at private school and the kid's dad was Illuminati. And then they shanghaied Tony into the programs, later that week after he had a run-in with the wrong rich kid. Daryl James, he got recruited, sounds like after he himself joined the US Navy, and then they recruited him through that. You, yourself, and other people like, Anthony and Alyssa were taken as young, and Susan as young children, perhaps Chad.
Yeah, from a
Me
family lineage thing.
and
Like
family lineage.
yeah,
You're born into it. And
yeah.
then for me, I'm trying to figure out what my connections are. Maybe the Chinese American immigrant family and the computer connection kind of
Yeah.
switches it up a bit. And
Makes
you know, because I don't have any of the tells. I don't feel like I've ever had people following me around, you know, in black SUVs, well, that much. Maybe more recently, but in the past, no. So I don't know. That's where I feel like I fall out of the Venn diagram to a lot of.
Unfortunately, Brian, they're gonna start following you more, because you're on with us. And I have a feeling, and this is just my feeling, that your dad implanted a very special chip or chips in you. Like you have a code, because we all have codes in our DNA, in our body, in our etheric, in our aura. Okay, so I just know that you are to play a very important role. Like I said, the last time I saw a lot of numbers around you, I don't know why. You were the scientist that was in the whole program, but you don't remember. That's fine. You know, I'm not here. None of us are here to say, hey, but you are, no, that's gonna be on you. It's gonna be your heart. This is just an opening for us to reach others, to tell them, right, Anthony, right, Josh, that we're not crazy, that this shit is
Mm,
real.
yep, that's it. That's it. That's really it.
And
Like, and we have in our own testimonies our testimonies to that. Like, that's the only thing that really stands. You know, because your own research, your own experience, coupled with your experiences, is what explains
and,
it.
and
So.
you're part of the Terminator program.
What I mean, I know, you know, that I'm involved in, like, but I know for Kruger, we do not kill unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yes, it's
That is
necessary.
actually one part about Kruger. They're not just mindlessly killing people and just doing because they are actually a positive corporation that's involved, with a positive outlook for the, you know, for because they're rescuing kids, they're evacuating planets. You know what I'm saying? They're capturing high value targets. So, you know, and when you're talking about the military aspect of it, like it's kind of like Ender's Game too, because you know they had to take the kids and train them and stuff to definitely fight against the aliens that were trying to take them over and stuff. And that's part of the military understanding of war. You know what I'm saying? Is sometimes you have to do what's necessary. So that's kind of what's involved with being involved with Kruger is you know, we are volunteering for it.
Yeah. I always say that I didn't volunteer, but here I am. And
Well, we're here. I mean, that's what we volunteer. We came here. We came here volunteer. We said, send us in there. Send us in the earth is what we said.
yep,
When on the other side, that's what we
now I
said.
know.
So
Right, Chad? I'm always saying, but I didn't volunteer. And I'm like, crap.
I feel like they're twisting things too all the time. So like there's that Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger where he goes in and kills kids, you know, and then
I
it's
hate
like then
that
the
movie.
program out there that's in, so it's almost like they're
they
doing.
do that. That's actually what they do. Actually, that's even what they did with the term Illuminati, because Illuminati means enlightened ones, you know, and they
Mhm.
actually took that term and they were able to reverse it and stuff. So it actually keeps people away from finding the actual real Illuminati, who are actually the Pythagorean Illuminati, who are the ancient secret society that has always been in opposition against the elite. They've been responsible for the revolutions of the past. They're because they hold the truth of the Grail, and that's they are an actual secret society that has actually been around since 561 BC, when actually the first Grand Master, unofficial Grand Master, was King Solomon, and
Yeah.
then the next Grand Master was Pythagoras. And there's been other grandmasters in the Illuminati, like Leibniz, Gottfried Leibniz. He actually figured out the grand unified theory of everything, but the church didn't accept his theory. They accepted Newton, which basically is that science does not acknowledge the world of mind. It's a completely materialistic empiricist. So that is a false paradigm that we've been creating our worldview around. But the Pythagorean Illuminati actually have the explanation of how to actually explain reality, mathematically, scientifically, philosophically. politically, uh, economically, religiously, like all in their books. If you look up the Armageddon Conspiracy.com, you will be guided to them and all of their knowledge, which is the greatest compendium of knowledge ever devised. And it is actually a project that has been put together by 36 actual Illuminatists, actual Illuminati members who wrote 273 books. And they also have a Patreon site where they're putting up things every week because they're just showing their knowledge. And I'm actually involved with writing for them, like on their Patreon, because I found them. My whole book culminates into finding them because I knew they were the truth when I found them. And now I'm actually in contact with one of the writers. His name is David St. Clair. That's not his real name. It's a ghost name, but he is one of the members, and he just responds to all of my writing about being a super soldier from a rational, logical standpoint.
That is so
Mhm.
awesome. I've been seeing your writings on Facebook, and I'm excited for you, brother, because you have a lot of knowledge.
Well, I'm going to be looking into it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah.
Good. That's good to hear.
Oh,
That's good.
yeah. Yeah, trust me, I will.
Especially for the documentary. Maybe Chad, we can do a documentary for him too. We're trying to
Pretty
do
nice.
Chad's trying to do one for Tom Althouse, and we're supposed to be in a place maybe September, October, I don't know. And then maybe we can do something, we can, because I have a vision that next year I want to be in Florida. I want to be with you guys, and I want Chad to go with me. And
Okay.
just, to do more talks, and maybe Chad, you can write too, about all of them, and our experiences and things like that. That
That'd
would
be
be
nice.
awesome. Yeah. But the Holy Grail brings up a point. I was in fourth grade when I was in Miss Norris's class, and just because I memorized all my states and capitals, me and another little boy were to be rewarded to go watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. And according to Dark Journalist, that is a real movie. And I was so scared when the faces were melting and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, we are the holders of the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
That's our 13 bloodlines, right?
That's it. That's it. That is it. Like that's what the Grail is just gnosis. Like it is you. You are God. You are creating, and once you know who you are, you reach apotheosis, and then you know who you are, and then you're creating reality, and with through your mind, because everything is coming through thoughts. And once you create thoughts and stuff, know how to create them, you will see them appear in your reality. That's definitely what I've learned because in a school that I'm in, I had a credible manifestation experience where I was taught how to just focus on an image of what I wanted my dream to be, just every single day. And just day after day after day, you're focusing, you're putting more time aside of the image you want your dream to be. And I basically I lived in a town where there's not very many people, but um, a shop opens up right next to me, and this shop is called the Time Machine. You know what I'm saying? The shop is called the Time Machine, so that was the first indication that I was having an effect on matter, because that's all I've been trying to do is become the time machine myself. You know what I'm saying? Being able to be
Anthony,
in the past.
your right eye just turned blue. What the fuck? When
I
you're
mean,
talking like that.
I'm going off right now. I'm going off right now because the second thing that happened too was I kept doing it, you know what I'm saying? And then a store opened up beneath me, and they actually happened to be an MMA fighting store. Like this guy was all MMA gear, and then he ends up like he's like, "Hey, do you want me to sponsor you for your next fight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's awesome." And so I was getting help. I was getting manifestations. And then the final one was I kept manifesting, kept doing this because I actually haven't stopped. I have not actually stopped. I do it every day. But the final manifestation was a holistic healer opened up right next to that, right next door to that MMA shop. And she was a masseuse and her name was Magic, you know. And so that yeah, that was a little like little breadcrumbs from the table, like divine things because I was able to see how I was able to have effect on matter with my mind, which is what science says that we don't have the power to do because it doesn't acknowledge the world of mind. But that's actually what the Pythagorean Illuminati do in their system. They bring in the mind, the dimensionless realm where the distance between 2 points is zero. It's just instant. That's why in our dreams we're getting everything at the same time, and we can shift dreams because we're all over the place, and because we're in the dimensionless realm in our dreams. But when we're here in the physical world, we're in the physical world. We're in the world of the dimensional. This is the material, and this is the as above, so below paradigm that is known and is explained by the Illuminati because there's the mental world and then there's the physical world. And then merging them and in a continuum is what the grand unified theory of everything is, which is actually R is greater than or equal to zero, which merges the two realms together and explains them.
And Anthony, I recently stumbled onto and recalled the corollary. In addition to as above, so below, as within, so without.
It's it is, and as the more you go in, the deeper you go, the more you know. And that's what I found because I'm a meditator. I'm always going deep, and I was born a double Pisces, like super psychic. So it's just kind of in me to go inward. But I've definitely discovered that that's where the kingdom of heaven is. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
so cool. You're a Pisces too, and so is Susan.
So it's exciting because our consciousness is really what we're experiencing, and that's what we really got to discover. What I've understood, because there's all this stuff going outside of us, but we are creating, everything, and it's what's going on inside of us too. That we have to, and the esoteric, because even when I did have my awakening, my Kundalini awakening, I felt like it was spontaneous. I was just sitting there and I just felt this electric shock just shoot up my spine and out my head and just like this fountain. And then after that, I was just meditating. Everything changed for me, and that's when I turned into the esoteric, from the exoteric into the esoteric. So that was my shift there.
That's so crazy because when I had my Kundalini, I didn't know it was called Kundalini experience till later. I was just there, like, if there's anything greater than me, other than these fake gods here, because I was like so fed up with religion. I'm like, I need to know that way I don't kill myself. And I knelt it, and boom, this light came out of my chest. And at the same time that the light came out, I've told you before, there's this like shooting star that comes and goes outside of this light. And my
Yeah.
roommate's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Veronica? You're opening portals. We don't need no more portals." And I'm like, "I ain't doing anything. What do you mean?" And so then we go outside, and the neighbors come outside, and we're like, "Did you guys see that? Did you hear it?" They're like, "Yeah, but we didn't see anything on the floor, no hole, nothing. It just boom came out of me." So that's me, baby. I know that that's me now.
I remember you telling me about that. I do remember that. Yeah, it changes your whole world around. So I mean, you go from the world of from what I understand is the hero's journey. You go from the world of common day into the extraordinary world. That's when that happens. And then when you're in the extraordinary world, you meet with a mentor. You meet with someone that's been in the extraordinary world that can guide you and help you. So
Oh,
this
that
would
was
be
that man. That was that man that was like with his hands out. That's happened after.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. A masters are usually the guides, that are in the extraordinary world. And then once you're in the extraordinary world, this is a world. It's a light and dark, but there's darkness. But you will face the road of tests and trials. You're gonna go
Oh,
through the yeah. And then, but once you face the road of tests and trials, you then receive the reward, and then you have your meeting with God. After being victorious in the extraordinary world. And then once you have done that, you have the magic flight back into the world of common day, and you're gonna get attacked on this magic flight back, because you've learned what you've learned in the extraordinary world, which is extraordinary, and you're coming back to tell the people in this world so you can bring them into that world. And this is actually what the story, The Matrix, is the prime example of a hero's journey, because you know he comes back after being known that he's the one. He gets attacked by all the agents, just like we're getting attacked right now. But we've been in the extraordinary world. We know we're bringing the knowledge back here, and then once we do that, we become the masters of two worlds. You know what I'm saying? With physical and the spiritual world. And these people are actually the people that are living in a what's called a liminal state, because there's two different types of realities that are being experienced. There's liminal reality, which is the people that are living the spiritual, physical combined, like they're in the middle. And then there's the communitas reality, which is just the people in the community, mind controlled drones and stuff like that. So we're living in the liminal space. But once we get back to the world of common day with the knowledge we have, whatever reward we uh, achieve in the extraordinary world, we then are from the master of two worlds, which actually is the eagle that the Freemasons use is actually just one of the symbols, because it actually symbolizes.
Anthony, Anthony, they cut your voice, they cut your feed. Go back 3 minutes. I can't hear your voice. They muffled your fucker CIA.
3 minutes. Three minutes.
No, not 3 minutes. I've been
It's
listening.
back. It's back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to
No,
like
it was, yeah, I've been hearing it.
That
okay.
yeah. Go back like what, 45 seconds?
Okay, I'm almost done, because when you're in extraordinary world, you come back to the world of common day with the knowledge. It's the magic flight back. You're getting attacked by agents, people, everyone that's attacking you. But then you become the master of two worlds, which is the symbol of the double-headed eagle of the Freemasons. Because yes, the Freemasons got corrupted, but it didn't begin that way. You know what I'm saying? That it was actually created to meritoriously and rise people up to be put in places of government where they could lead. But the double-headed eagle actually is symbolizes that you exist in both worlds, the physical and the spiritual, and you are aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you are lucid in both worlds. And then once you're able to bring that knowledge back, you're able to give other people the freedom to live. And then that's the hero's journey. Yeah.
Dude, that's what
I
I've
have a
been
question.
through, and I just feel like, sorry, Chad, I just feel like they fucking crucified me when I just went through. Alyssa, you saw the pictures, and I just posted them. I feel like they
What I
fucking.
want to talk about, yeah, because it feels like I question. It's like, okay, people say Omega programming doesn't last so long, but okay, so is it Omega programming that I'm working against, or is it a demonic attack of not wanting me to fulfill my what I'm destined for?
I
And
think
that's what it feels
what
like,
about,
so I don't know what to do at this point, because the attack continues to happen, and I won't reach outside myself, and I won't pray to something outside myself for praise. But then I feel like the Illuminati is teaching you are your own God. So is there a separate thing that we're supposed to, because as it is, I like what you're saying. You meditate, you're taking the power into your own hands by visualizing and controlling your own future. And I feel like that's what we're supposed to be doing, is
yes.
doing it ourselves and not being held by the hands. But I do ask for unconditional help. I've just never received it. So in this process of wanting to break free of this attack, how do you handle that? You got to do it yourself. I'm assuming, or do you?
Can I jump in
I
there?
mean, I found like I've been a targeted individual, and part of this is it is ran by what is called the Brotherhood of the Shadows, and they run with Kabbalah, and that's what the word Cabal comes from. That's these people are like the dark black magicians, and demonic attack is part of it and stuff like that. And you're that's what you're up against. That's what we're all up against. But the more we do raise our vibrations, with what we know we're supposed to do, that's how we can fight it. And that's what I've done, and I would say that I am a triumphant over, like, instead of a victim, I'm a triumphant, in my experience, with the spiritual work that I've done. I still get attacked, you know what I'm saying, but it's not affecting me as much too much to be able to get me off my path. Like,
Same
even though
here,
it's tough
Anthony,
sometimes.
and I had to do it on myself. I had to do it on my own. I like Chad, you know, and you've gone through so much, Chad, and I was just done. I got to one point where I'm done asking for, you know, I'm done asking for help from others, like from, you know, up there or down there, you know, from the other world that we've existed in. I used to ask even help from the super soldiers that were up there, because they're up there right now. Okay, they're cloaked. I can see them. So I used to ask help from them, and now I don't. Now I have to go
Yeah.
within me and find out what Veta wants. And the cool thing that happened before they did, you know, this whole thing that I went through with the 3 surgeries and 2 blood transfusions was one day I was at the doctor's office and I heard myself say, "Go here to this apartment complex," and I came, and there was nobody at the manager's place. But then I called the number, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm here. I can show you one of the places. This fucking apartment is my fucking birth date. The cancer center is 1 block away. The hospital is 3 blocks away. I have farmland, horses, cows, everything, sheep around me. This is my healing center." And then they told me, "Oh, this used to be a healing center connected to this hospital." I'm like, and I moved in within 1 month. That's how I envisioned it. That envisioning, imagine it, your imagination right here, where the 2 brains combine with your heart, that is what you are. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be seeking yourself, and you'll get there, Chad, and you've come a long way.
And you're not alone. You're not alone. Remember that, Chad, too. You're not alone, dude. We're doing this. We're all doing this. We're all fighting the darkness together. That's what I've learned too, is you know, sometimes you feel you're alone, but there are other people in the light that are doing this, that have done it. You know, that are working too. So yeah.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
you're
And I
also.
think Brian was going to say something.
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
what was going to say?
Yeah. Just like, as Anthony is saying about going within, it's kind of like there's like a dialectic to it, like as above, so below. So you're bringing in like your higher self, higher source down into yourself from as above and below. And then as you go in yourself and you strengthen yourself, then you have the ability to, interact and deal with the world outside you and around you to a greater and greater extent. So on the one hand, to answer your question, Chad, about like, how do you like recover memories and how do you deal with this? Do you deal with it yourself? I would say, I mean, you deal with it on all fronts. There's a front of going inward into yourself, but then there's also reaching out to this huge, amazing community that we all now have literally at our fingertips with the internets. As who cares that we're monitored? We use their weapons against them to achieve our own goals and to undermine them. And on here you can find everyone to do quantum healing, hypnosis technique, or I know I'm mangling QHHT,
I know how to do
to
those. Yeah.
to
Yeah, I'm sure.
channeling and of not bad entities, of higher entities, or communicating and soul retrieval work. And I think when you put all that together with your own work, it's like you're going to find yourself in a way different position, like a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you know, and on. So that's just my input, not from saying, "Oh, look at me recovering memories," because I'm not. I'm more um, as a an organizer and advocate, running into lots of other people with testimonies who seems like all the ones who are successful, those are the common denominators. And I have to go soon, so I just wanted to get that last in.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that as well. And I'm someone that's still working on memory retrieval and finding the right practitioner to help with that. Like there's someone in particular that I want to see for QHHT, but I think a lot of it I use my higher self. I actually used I was looking at a picture of myself at the age of like 6 or something, and I had actually pasted a picture of myself at the age of 6 and a picture of myself now. I put them right next to each other, and I was just looking at them and feeling so much appreciation and compassion for how far I've come. I think that can be a really beautiful, like, inner child healing experience to do that and just look and reflect on your life and everything that you've accomplished. And using that higher self method rather than like praying to a god.
Yeah.
You can think of yourself like 10 years from now. What would you be saying to how would you speak to yourself? What would you suggest to yourself 10 years from now? And just
Yeah.
letting the information come in, because especially when you're trying to figure out like what is the fucking framework for the universe, like the firmament
Yeah.
and flat earth, and it doesn't matter. Like that doesn't actually matter, because I think that the way that we're designed is to operate from our intuition. But
Mhm.
this world, the matrix, is designed to shut all of that down. So just allowing the information to come through organically and appreciating the timeline of your life and your little self and your future self and bringing that all together. And a very, very safe companion for all of this, companions, is animals. Like Veronica was saying, I have found so much healing through horses in particular, but you can use any animals like dogs.
Yeah,
Generally,
but
it's
we're gonna
mammals,
have
but
horses out there too, and the horses are pretty healing. Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
That's why
absolutely.
flies flying around. I got to leave my door open for my dog, and then the horses break them in. So
Yeah, just spending more time with the
it's
horses
amazing.
and
Yeah,
and
amazing.
yourself.
You're right.
And the
That is what I
people, when
do.
you find the people you can trust, like confiding in those people. And I go into this
I
space
do that.
to
Yeah.
I'm getting filtered. So like even if I have a friend that I trust, I can't say anything because they're gonna hear what I'm saying or whatever. But like Bryan said, use their weapons against them. We're creating a
Yeah.
grid. We're creating a worldwide network. We're waking up. We're waking each other up. So we
Yeah.
have to keep connecting, even though that can feel a little bit scary and vulnerable, and like you're putting yourself out there. And oh, is this going to be
Yeah.
used against me because I spoke it out loud? But it can't be used against you if you own it and you keep moving forward with the right people and with animals and just your
Yeah.
daily practice. And
Okay.
body work too. Body work can be so profound. I don't know if you receive any types of body work, but
I
our
would need.
bodies store so
I agree.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the attack. I've been kept away from all those healing modalities and just kind of forced into a certain situation, and then it's pretty relentless. You know, it's almost all the time, and that's where I get frustrated. And I'm like, that's just irritating. You know, like, is there anybody out there helping? You know,
Yeah.
but it's also a quickening process. You know, and they're tightening. I gotta flip my little puppy's steak real quick, and so I will be right back, everyone.
Yeah,
Okay,
no worries.
it's gonna burn if I don't.
What I wanted to also say, yes, the animals are so important. And Alyssa, you're awesome. One day, I know, I see it that you're gonna help me aquatically because I'm a swimmer too. I was it's confirmed that I always say Michael Jaco Draco. I was in the Navy and in the Army, and he hated it. And one of my memories, just this past year, I had a memory where a bunch of us are in a hotel, and then I'm being called out to give a certificate, and that I was in the Navy, and he was so mad because I was in the Navy, and I'm like, why are you mad, bro? Why are you mad? And then I have another memory where he's drowning me and shit. When I met him at the conference, you know what happened. I've talked about it so many times. I'm not gonna go there. But now when we're going through all this stuff that Anthony was talking about and Alyssa healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was given to me to remind myself who I was. Do you see it? It's
Oh, yeah.
a Stargate, and it has different things here, and it has a skull in the middle. And guess what this is? This is Mars, but nobody will tell you.
Yeah. That's some what's that movie called? Adam or
Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That is looks like Pirates of the Caribbean.
But guess what, Anthony? I talked to a friend, Colin Gillespie. Yeah, our super soldier friend. He said, Veronica, the ones that they sell online don't have the thing in the back. And then guess what? When I was a cop, they gave me only the guy that he was my sergeant. They gave me, oh, you can't see it. Archangel Michael killing the devil. And then on the other side, because my mind goes and goes sometimes, they said, hi, my name is Officer Rabbit. Veronica, well, when I was married, it was Bartolini Olivares. Badge number 617, South Tucson Police Department. And then, just last year, my cousin came right before these surgeries and blood transfusion, guess what she gave me? I wanted one, it's Labradorite, I think. It has 6 on both sides. And she said that it was a gift to her from her husband. That this guy was selling it off the street years ago.
Those are some powerful talismans. You know, those are some talismans that you got for sure.
Right? I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So yourself or someone else will bring in something. And this one I bought for myself. One moment. I don't know where the other, oh, here it is.
That is a dope background though, like how you just disappeared into the ship.
Oh, thank you. So I bought this one for me because I feel that that's me sometimes at one point with humanity, like trying to help them to wake the fuck up. Like the angel that's like so tired, but I gotta keep going. Right?
Yeah.
And then this was given to me real quick. These are my dog tags right here. These are my dog tags from when I was in the army. And I put them here. This cross was given to me by some lady died, and it was a mom of one of my good friends, and she gave it to me because I cleared her weapons because her husband had worked for Tucson police, and she asked me to clear his weapons. So she gave me that. And then of course I bought 2 of these for me. These are crystals. To when I'm here at
Oh,
home,
I love that.
I wear this because as royals, remember when we were royals, we had to wear crowns to protect us from the energies and the bad aliens. So then there's this one. Isn't that cool? So, yeah, I know I went like off topic, but
I would be rocking that all the time. I'd be rocking that everywhere.
I should wear it, huh? It's so pretty. I love it. Yeah, I like this one. I don't know why this one speaks more to me than the other one, but power.
Does
Like
that help with V2K? Like, do you get V2K anymore, or not
I
really so
still
much
get it, but
anymore?
when I wear this, I don't.
Yeah. Well, it's emanating a protective field around your head, so it makes sense. And it's much prettier than like the EMF caps.
Yeah, I have my EMF cap and I wear it at night, but I think because I dried it one time and it's supposed to have nickel and I dried it one time and it's I don't know if it's I still get hit with the ear things at night and the hot flashes.
Yeah.
So I can't find it right now. It's on the bed, but what I know is, I have talked about Sabrina Wallace before, and she just shows you how the military has these how do you say remote controls to our digital twin through IBM, and I always talk about G Mafia through Google, through Microsoft, and so we have to be careful with that too, not to be controlled by them. The soldiers are sitting in front of a screen with their VR things and saying, okay, let's put this code in Veronica. Why am I getting so many hot flashes? It's been 5 years. I'm finally on some hormone pills, but I don't take the whole thing. I take a third of it because it's like, and I just started 2 weeks ago because I didn't want to be on it. But I lost half my hair and oh my gosh, I've lost so much weight from the surgery. I stopped eating sugar and just being careful what I eat.
Sorry, we were just laughing when Chad's camera just started
I
zooming in.
know.
When he turned around, I was like, "What was that about?"
My dog is
It was
harassing
following
me.
him. See, now Chad, you're on the radar now because you got the camera following you.
Yeah, it does, and it's the weirdest thing.
What is it? What kind of camera is it?
It's in the iPad, so I'm not sure. I just imagine it turns like this. I don't know in there, but
That's crazy, Chad.
see what it's doing. It just does it, and I'm always kind of weirded out by it. So I have to sit really still, and that's hard for me.
Now, as far as
Yeah.
QHHT, I would totally, with all my heart, I have done it with Chad and he is so on point. There was one that we did online and then I posted and one person got all crazy about it because they couldn't hear me or they, Chad was wearing a torn shirt and I'm like, what the fuck with these people? So we got that's more professional, I guess, for them. But I did get a lot of,
That would be cool to do and video it again.
yeah.
Maybe when we're on that vacation.
Yeah.
I felt like that would be nice because it's better to do it in person than over the line.
Yes, we can do it.
Yeah. So yeah, but
Whose phone is ringing?
Nothing on this end.
Sounds like a fax machine going through. Seriously?
Yeah, I heard that too, but it's not anything here.
Yeah, we're hearing it too.
Fucking fuckers, get off my line, bitches. Get off. So anything else before we go, and then we can do another show later on whenever you guys want. I'm pretty much, I have one more show this weekend. And I have a few appointments, but anytime pretty much after 12 because I hardly sleep. So that's how they attack me. They don't want me to sleep because I go off planet. I go wherever the fuck I want. Go save
Well,
children.
you have pretty vivid dream recall too, so that makes sense that you would be targeted that way.
It sucks, guys.
mhm.
But it's okay because I can go astrally even if I'm awake. I can just meditate and just meditate and go, like you.
Like just like what the closing words I gotta say is like just together we are more. Like the more we are together, like the more powerful we are. And just to also like what I've come to realize is that we tend to be hard on ourselves, and we are making more of a difference than we actually think we are. Like that's something to remember too. And there is definitely help. You know what I'm saying? There is people that and beings that are fighting uh for the greater good. And so I always have said that. I've always brought the positive message, in my disclosure. So, and I'll continue bringing it because that's the future I see. You know what I'm saying? I see positive future. You know what I'm saying? Where it's positive. It's good. I mean, I've been there. It's good. It's nice. It's worth it. And this next fifth array density, I've heard is around 2032 is when we should be shifted into fifth array density, like the next context of existence, 2032. So we got some time to get there, but that's when we're gonna be in fifth array density, the next, the future.
You know what date I was given? 07/11/44.
Okay, 44.
44. That's what I was given just 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, I know somebody's gonna. What is this? Is this a locker combination? Is this the day that I die? What the fuck? Because they're like telling me you're gonna die when you're 79. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna live till forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna live till whatever I want. So
Yeah.
thank you, Anthony. So that came through 07/11/44.
Yeah.
Woo!
We just have to make it to the other side. That's the thing. We just got to make it to the other side, and but know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. That we're
In
getting
the
to.
right tunnel, not the fake
Yeah.
light, but where they bring you back.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and I would just like to say thank you. It's so good to see your face. We've been messaging and voice memos and stuff, but just to see your face again, it's been a while. And thank you for being my first public show, basically. I know I didn't say a lot, but that was good. That was appropriate for me today to just kind of get comfortable in front of the camera and start putting little pieces out because it's about a month now before, almost exactly 1 month before I'm doing my presentation at the conference. And so, honestly, even when I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh my God, do I really want to do this? Like, am I going to destroy opportunities in my life? Like, am I going to sabotage myself by stepping out? That's a lot of the negative thinking that comes in. But when you are standing authentically in your truth, you can do no wrong. And if something falls away, it is not meant for you. And so I feel so much better. Like my anxiety level is like 90% decreased. I always have a little bit of it because like all of us were like on all the time, but I appreciate this so much. And I'm sorry I had to leave. I had a phone call for a little bit, but this was a really good dynamic and I would love for all of us to meet again in the future many times.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And sometimes, the less you say, the more you say, because it becomes concentrated, or it doesn't get so diluted. So I noticed when you sit back and you don't say everything you wanted to say, but when you get the chance to, it comes out, really powerful. So, and I heard a lot of that coming from you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Chad, anything you want to say?
Oh no, yeah. Just I enjoyed myself too. I'm suffering a little cold right now because of the summer and air conditioning thing. So that's why I've been shutting my camera off too and stepping off to do disgusting things from my nose. But
It's natural. It's all good.
but I was enjoying it, and I was hearing everything that was going on as I was away. So this was a really nice group. Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you, Chad, for
Thank
being on.
you.
You, Alyssa,
Yeah, thank you for facilitating, Veronica.
Yay, always, always. That's what I'm here for. And when I feel like really sad sometimes, I do think of you, Anthony and Alyssa and Chad. And I'm like and Tom too. And I think in a place where I'm safe
Well,
and it's
The
future.
placenta place.
The placenta place, well, that too, yes, yes. And also like I'm in my own ship and I'm just in my own world. And then, we go and visit each other in different places. We have different meetings. In my mind, I'm always meeting you guys in my mind. When I think of you, just know if my face pops up or my eyes, just know that I love you guys a lot. So
We love you too, Veronica. We do.
we got
So
to
yeah.
see you guys later. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome. Bye.